Hey everyone, this is a long awaited video that I never really thought I would film, or like I wanted to avoid filming it. And just a heads up, it's going to be a long video and I'm going to talk about a lot of different things. I'm like trying not to cry right now. Why am I crying? I've tried to film this many times and I always start crying, which is interesting because I've never cried about this stuff in real life. It just shows like how much buried emotion is there. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to be talking about many different things and I'm going to try not to cry. Okay, just know I'm doing well as of this moment. I'm going to be addressing a lot of different topics, so I hope that you can bear with me through it and, you know, put it on 2x speed or something. It's going to be very long. I'm going to address a number of things, like what happened to me last year, like why I had to stop making my old funny content, which a lot of people were asking why I have multiple channels, my thoughts on like the creator space. Like there is a lot I'm going to go into in this video, and it is going to be the most vulnerable and personal video I've probably ever posted in my life, which makes me really uncomfortable. What happened and what's going on really ties into why I had to stop my old content, and there's just been too many questions over the past like nearly 2 years going like, why did you change so much? And then, you know, people comparing me to other creators, and it's really annoying. Yeah, I just decided to make this video. So let's start from the very beginning, my lore on YouTube. So I started YouTube when I was like 16. I always knew I wanted to do YouTube, among other things. I always knew I was going to be a biz queen and do YouTube. And that's exactly what I did and what I became. But I really grinded at it for so many years. And then 2019 was when I popped off. And I started to make money from YouTube in 2020, 2021. It became like a full-time income. And I really, while I always had like some sort of struggle with the algorithm, I always had like figured it out and like overcome it. And then I would say towards the end of 2021, I was posting 2 to 3 times per week. I made a mix of self-help and clownery videos. If you guys watch, you know, if you're from like back then, you know, I would make really funny content and I loved to do this. I actually hated making self-help because I just wanted to do like funny vlogs, but you guys love the self-help. So I remember I had this strategy, one self-help at the beginning of the week and then a vlog or something for me and my loyal audience at the end of the week. And the self-help, the views would do great. The funny videos, they would always get like a lower amount of views. So what was considered low on my channel of like 300k at the time was probably like 40,000 views. So remember that, okay? So I had this figured out. I felt like I'd finally cracked the algorithm. I'd finally cracked my channel. Like I had made it. All of these years of grinding had finally paid off for me. Then the unthinkable happened. What happened is what YouTubers always talk about. Like we say this is going to happen, but it never really does happen. So I moved to Melbourne. I lived in Sydney. I moved to Melbourne for a month. I'm having the time of my life. I'm like, yeah, I made it. I'm so happy. Everything's going well. I'm on such a high, right? So I moved out of Sydney because I decided that that year I was going to move to London. I didn't even have a plan. I was like, I'm just going to move. Fuck it. Okay, we ball. Yeah, I moved Sydney, Melbourne. I go back to Perth when the border opens, and man, did my world come absolutely crumbling down. I'm at the ripe age of 22, literally just turned 22. I come home on this absolute high. A couple of things happen. Number one, I come to know that my mom is doing really, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. That my mom is not doing very well. Okay, I just came back with a toilet roll because I really shouldn't be crying. I look so good. How can I cry? I'm kidding. So yeah, I come back and I realize my mom's not doing that well. When I was in high school, she had surgery on her legs for something, and basically like the surgeon fucked it up, and her condition then proceeded to get like worse and worse. But I was young, you know, I was in high school. My mom did a really great job of protecting me from this, and I never really knew the extent of what was going on. So you know, when I was old enough and I came home when I was 22 and I saw that her condition was so bad, like she was just in this constant pain, like no doctors could do anything. And on top of that, because she was in so much pain, like she could no longer work. So I was not aware of this. Suddenly I realized, oh my God, like I'm gonna have to be the full, like probably carer and provider for my mom, which meant even if I was doing like super financially well right now, I just saw it as not being enough. Like mind you, at the age of 22, I'm earning what people in the 30s or 40s would dream of earning, but still I was like, this is not enough. Like in order to live the life I want and be able to fully give my mom the life she wants, or like buy a carer or like hire a carer one day or something like that, I need to make so much more. So that happened, okay? And I wasn't too worried at the beginning because I'm like, okay, everything's going well, like the businesses are going well, like YouTube is like finally doing well. And then the unthinkable happened. The literal unthinkable happened. And I just want to preface by saying a lot of YouTubers, you know, they talk about the algorithm, they blame the algorithm. And I understand, but I also say that it's not entirely the algorithm. Like sometimes you just make shitty videos, okay? And I also will say, I'm a data queen. I will always rather my audience tell me, Simone, we don't like your videos, so we stopped watching, because it means that's my fault and I can do something to change that, right? But in this situation, it was not. So what happened? I posted a video, I'm doing my strategy, you know, it's been working so well. Out of the blue, my videos, 50% drop in views overnight. Literally 50% overnight. It was like every single video was ranking 10. I did all my strategies, I tried new strategies, it wouldn't come out of it. Even all my managers were like, what is going on? We've never seen anything like this before. And remember how I said I did vlogs and silly videos? If these got 40k views, after this overnight drop, it was getting 5,000 views. This is unprecedented, especially if you have a loyal audience that's tuning in every video. Your views are consistent, they're predictable. It does not change like that overnight. If anything, there is a slow drop over a couple of months. This was overnight. And obviously this is really bad because my sponsors are then going like, you were getting X amount of views, now you're getting this amount of views, like what is going on? So they dropped me. And then at the same time, I quickly realized I couldn't do the same videos I used to, because if I kept doing the silly funny videos and getting 5k, that will actually kill my channel. So I had to make a decision. Do I continue to do self-help, which I know is getting the high views, is going to rank in the algorithm for SEO at least, or do I just kill my channel and do like silly funny videos? So I had to make that choice, and obviously I chose to continue to grow my channel. It ended up taking 1.5 years for me to fully get my channel back, and I would still say the algorithm never returned to normal. For example, like I did a poll, 80% of my audience said they were not getting notifications. This was really challenging for me last year because I really went through the stage where I was like, why me? I worked so hard on my channel. I put so much effort in for so many years. Why is this happening to me? And even now, if you look on Reddit, it's happening to so many people. And I swear it's like a glitch in the algorithm. I brought it up to YouTube. What did they say? Nah. The reason I never addressed this in a video before is because I simply don't want to give it attention. And I still don't, to be honest. But I just wanted to give this explanation. Anyways, so that was a really down year for me, because suddenly I felt like I had lost pretty much everything I worked for, and then I was letting my audience down, because it's a cycle, right? My audience, I had to stop making the funny videos, so I lost parts of my loyal audience who wanted that content. I could no longer give it to them. I was no longer showing up in the feeds for people, and it's just this cycle. So you lose a lot of your audience and make them unhappy. And it's like I still wanted to do the vlogs, but I couldn't. And on top of that, because of like what was going on with my mum and the pressure I had, it was just like really a year for me where I just had like a lot of realizations that I had a lot of responsibility and that there was a lot of grief that was going to come up soon. For example, like my dad has always been in critical condition for like majority of my life as well. And I think when I was in high school, I was very, very stoic about this, because I would almost anticipate his passing And I think like even at my age right now, I'm surprised he's still around. I mean, like, I'm so grateful he is, but he's not in a good condition. And you know, he's gotten to the point like he cannot remember me sometimes, and that like really escalated last year. And obviously when I was away in Sydney, I didn't really get to see this in real time, so coming back and seeing that was also a shock. It's also a shock knowing that my dog being diagnosed with like liver failure, like my dog, love of my life. So there was just a lot of things. Like, imagine like going from this high and just being hit with this low. And I think like, yeah, while all the family stuff was really hard, the YouTube thing was just like, why me? And I would just think, like, God, universe, why couldn't you have picked someone else who provides no value on YouTube? Like, literally those YouTubers who just like go vlog and spend all their money and they don't give a crap about their audience. Why couldn't it have been them? Why was it me? And I think to be honest, I think like everything I've gone through and continue to go through just helped. It helped me make better videos, because I really like had to introspect. And you know, I would have gone crazy if I just thought like this is a glitch, which it is, but I had to think there's a larger reason. I had to justify it somehow, otherwise I would have gone absolutely mental. But I remember, you know, there was such an insurmountable amount of pressure. I'm really grateful that now my mum's partner, who is from overseas, has moved here to help with everything. Like, I'm so grateful for him. So that's taken like a huge load off of me right now. So yeah, this year's been a lot better than last year. But I would just say, like, you know, going through all of that, it also makes you kill the clown, you know. I used to be so silly and funny in my videos because I had no worries. I really did not have that many worries. I could afford to do that. But then when you have to go through all of that and like really grow up to a whole new level, have that much responsibility, it's really hard to be silly on the internet. And especially, let me like tap into the whole like creator scene. So a lot of people praise creators who never change. They're like, oh wow, like this person has stayed true to themselves the whole time. Let me tell you something. Think about reinforcement. YouTubers give their audience what the audience wants. So say every time I put on a clown wig and I was silly, I got 1 million views. Would I still be doing that clown stuff to this day? And probably 5 years from now, if it continued to get 1 million views? Probably, because it's reinforced. You can't just like change and take it away, you know. So this is, I said this in another video, but that's why a lot of creators who have been on the internet for so long and they're really old now, they're still behaving like children. And it's because their audience reinforces it and their audience doesn't really want them to change. So they have no incentive to change. Let me add on, people who don't change, it's kind of a privilege. It is a privilege to not have any outside force that is making you change. If I stayed the same, not only could I not mentally handle everything that was going on, but I would not be able to then level up. I was actually like forced to level up. And it's interesting because I would say like at the age I was, 21, 22, my life was already like leveled up, but I had to like take it to a whole new level. And I was so tired and miserable. And I remember like I would just lie in my bed every day and just be depressed because I had no will to work or do more. And I knew I had to, but I was like, I don't know what to do right now. I was so debilitated, I would say. When this algorithm thing happened, my old second channel, if you guys remember that, I would make like purely advice videos on there. It's funny because like new people who watch me say like, oh, you're copying other creators doing self-help. I'm like, I've always done self-help. So my second channel actually got killed when that algo thing happened, which is why I made a new second channel. That was actually purely like a beta test. I just wanted to test the algo to see if it was fine. I did it on a new computer, VPN, everything. Lo and behold, it did really well. But it's funny, like the first 4 videos were getting like 200,000 views or something, and then randomly it dropped to 40k, and it kind of like stayed around that. So the algo is so strange. I don't really care anymore. I like posting on that, but that's why people say like, why do you have so many channels? And I'm like, it's because of that. I need to separate the content now. So anyways, I think I'm gonna bring back the clownery. I've made a vlog channel. You can go follow it, Simone Unsquared, and I have a bunch of videos planned for that. You can follow my TikTok as well. And this is also why we made Triple S. To be honest, I thought in this video I would talk more about like my biz background. I thought it was going to be a law video, but I think it's like not really fitting for this particular video. Wow, I really like didn't cry in this video. The other times I filmed this, I bawled my eyes out so much. So I think I did a pretty good job of grazing over it. But mind you, I'm very stoic. You know, I would say like the past 2 years made me really emotionally hard, because I hate when people go, oh my god, I'm an empath. But I am. This is why I can turn it off now. Like, ever since I was a child, and I still am like this to this day, if I go to like a poorer country like Bali, Indonesia, whatever, I would sit in a restaurant and like look at the waiter and be miserable. I would just think like, why am I sitting here, and why did I get this life and you got that life? And I started being like that since I was like maybe 4 years old. I'd just see a homeless person and cry. I took on everyone's problems and burdens. So if there was like anyone poor in my family, even like extended family, I'm like, I have to take care of them. Yeah, you have to become stoic, because like I remember watching my mom in pain and like wondering if she would one day. I had to turn off my empathy, because I would see her in this pain every day and be so sad that I had to be like, I can't feel sorry for you right now. If I need to get the job done now, if I need to work, like I really had to tap into all this masculine energy, because otherwise I just wouldn't have been able to survive, you know. And that's why like when there's a problem now, I'm really good at dealing with it. I'm just like, you know, fuck it, we deal with it. I'm not gonna cry about it, like just deal with it. It's also really annoying because for those of you who are my loyal audience, like from back in the day, I know you would have noticed this, but just to preface, I don't actually watch other YouTubers, especially people in my space. I just don't, because I think everything I talk about, it comes from my own experience. And I notice like I'll make a video and then bigger creators will sometimes copy that, and like I'm fine with that, because that's the whole YouTube game, you know. You copy, you take inspiration, whatever. But some of these bigger YouTubers, they would actually take my entire script in the video and like the points, which are so niche, they can only come from my brain. Like literally, you're not gonna Google or chat GPT this video script and that niche point will come up. It's just not gonna happen. And then like they'll take my points, and then people will comment, you're copying this person because they're a bigger creator. I'm like, bitch please, like give me a break. I stopped making silly content because I was literally forced to. If that algorithm thing never happened, if my audience continued to then support that silly content, I would have still been doing that, you know. But I'm gonna bring it back, which is why we have my literal third channel, which is technically the fourth channel. The old second channel, I'm gonna turn it into a Triple S Leaks channel, but yeah, we're gonna have the fourth channel. New Zealand vlog soon. Sorry, just wanted to express that. That was a little bit annoying for me, and I think I do a really good job at kind of turning off that hate, because it's so common. But like my real fans know that I've been doing this stuff for a really long time, and now you know the truth. You know the truth that I didn't want to stop that content. I stopped it because I radically changed based on the things in my life, and also the literal algorithm. 2023 was a lot better for me. I think I have so much trauma from 2022 that I'm constantly on the brink of fear. I'm like, oh my god, is something like that gonna happen again? And well, you know what, I kind of manifested it to happen again. But the only thing we can do is move on, make the best of it. Although like I've started to ponder this a lot, especially because I'm moving to Dubai in January, and it's not really like, Dubai is not my vibe if you know the laws, because I wanted to live in Paris. Paris taxes are like 75%. If you're self-employed with like social contributions, etc. Guys, I was recording on here and I just cut out, so nice. I never needed that. Yeah, Paris taxes is so expensive, so I was like trying to figure out a solution when I was away. I'm like, how can I get to Paris? The answer was to move to Dubai, get my tax residency, be domiciled there, and then I can like go in and out. But I didn't really think it through, not gonna lie. While I'm like really nervous for it, and it's also really challenging because, you know, I would like to be home during this time, but I've already committed to moving and paid. I just think like you have to trust the divine plan for you. And then I also say, like, Simone, if you don't like it, you can move out after a while. If you do want some of the old content from me, you can go follow the TikTok and you can follow the new vlog channel. And yeah, join Triple S if you just want more content from me, if you want to join the academy, everything. I haven't really gone into like the whole my startup business lore, which is honestly a whole other story. My lore is so deep. My lore is so deep that I can't even like scratch the surface in this video. But I'll probably do that in Triple S, or maybe we'll do like a Q&A. But I'm really looking forward to my other channel, like getting back on this silly content. I won't lie, it's kind of like hard to manifest that silliness out of me again, because, you know, I have to be serious. Like, I am so serious all the time, just with like the business, what I deal with, blah blah blah. I have to be, but there's still like a little bit of a clown in me. Will I be wearing a clown wig and doing skits again? I don't think so. I'll probably do that when I'm like an unemployed billionaire and I have no worries anymore. Kidding. But until then, you guys, until then, thank you for your support, especially if you're like an OG follower. I really am grateful. I really am grateful for all of my followers and everyone who has been watching my content and sticking beside me. I hope you'll be kind watching this video. It was very hard for me and personal to make. Tschüss. Ich liebe dich.